Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanastu. We could never thank Bhagwan sufficiently for all that he is doing to us already. Now this one more hour of Nama Sankirtan is yet another huge grace for which we have to offer our grateful pranams with the Nama flowers, more and more Nama flowers. Now yesterday, we saw how Bhagwan came in the form of a butterfly and gave messages. And Muthukumar was sensitive enough to learn from that. But not many of us are that fortunate. All the same, we could be sure that when we need and invoke grace, Bhagwan will surely come in the form of a butterfly. We could recognize. Nobody could miss out on that. Now we shall see one or two experiences of the devotees and relive them with them. Now, of course, yesterday we also saw how different deities represent the one divinity behind it all. We remember how Gita from Madurai had come to Bhagwan with some friends. We should see what it's all about. Gita says her mother, Vidya Mami, she's also known as Vidyaka here in Ramanashram. She stayed for many, many years till her very end in Ramanashram doing service there. She was also very devoted to Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Often she found herself going to him for some help or the other. She was very, very devoted and she used to chant his name as well. It is Gita's mother, Vidya Mami, who had that experience that we had seen already, that she landed in Tiruvannamalai bus stand late in the night and got into an auto. When the auto driver took her away to a lonely spot, even as they were going, she intuited that something very bad was going to happen, and the wicked driver had a bad design on her. So of course, she resorted to Bhagwan's Nama. She was afraid to shout. loudly, lest the driver should attempt something else. So in her mind, in her heart, she was screaming, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please save me. And as this man was moving ahead, suddenly the driver screamed, took a U-turn, came back to Ramanashram, and she could see that the man was visibly trembling. And then he brought her very fast to her place and dropped her. She could not help asking him, why are you trembling? What happened? Why did you scream like this? And the man said, do you know, I had some wicked design on you, but then on the way, right in the middle of the road, there was an old man waving an iron rod before me, and there was fire in both his eyes. So I had this fear for my life. And that's why I screamed at, who is that old man, Amma? How is he related to you? Why would he stand there in that lonely spot right in the middle of the road? He was going to kill me. Of course she knew who it was. And she had been crying, thinking how he saved, Bhagwan saved her. This, of course, is a teaching lesson for all of us. I used to tell even the young children, girl children who would come here, I would teach them Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama and say, when you look at a man and feel frightened, immediately chant this mantra. Call Yogi Tata, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. And the man would be frightened and run away. And of course, this applies to all the women who have necessarily to go out alone, especially after it gets dark, especially the IT people. How many of them come back home? Of course, not now during this COVID period, but before that and perhaps after this also. Yogi Ramsuratkumar is our only resort. He is our only escort at such times. And there are stories how at the screaming of Yogi Ramsuratkumar by the woman, the men, the drunkard men, ran away frightened. Now it's also Gita's mother, Vidyaka, who gave us that experience, the story of how she took upama with many chilies, because Bhagwan liked it that way, and also some sweet kheer for Bhagwan, and it was with her Bhagwan played that leela, that he took chili after chili. He swallowed all those 12, 13 chilies and gave only the cashew nut to her, one after the other, to indicate that he would eat up all the chilies of our life and leave only the cashew nuts for us to enjoy. Vidya Mami had gone there with her head full of problems, but as soon as she reached there, she got absorbed in Bhagwan's eating it. She was so devoted. She was like a mother just looking upon Bhagwan eating it. She completely forgot her problems, and all she could think of, how Bhagwan ate it. So this again tells us something that we have to learn. Once you take refuge at the feet of a great master, we have nothing to fear, we have nothing to worry. We have to take refuge at his feet, the Guru's lotus feet, and the mantra given by the Guru will do. And he would see to it that all the chilies of our life or eaten up by another source, and only the cashew nuts will be left behind for us to enjoy. But then you must have this faith, deep faith. Now, we shall come to Gita herself. She says, her mother, whenever she came to Madurai from Tiruvannamalai, she would share her experiences with her daughters, who were studying at the time. Gita was only 21. And one day, her friend Sudha came running to her. She was very agitated, and she said, Akka, my mother is committing suicide. Please come, please come. Please save her. And of course, her mother had fallen into a depression, a deep depression. She had many ups and downs to go through in life, and the vicissitudes of life had brought her to this level that she felt suicidal often. And it struck Gita the only way out for her is to take her to the yogi her Amma was mentioning often. So she said to Sudha, let's go to Tiruvannamalai, we shall take your mother also there. So that's how when they came to Sannadi Street House to meet Bhagwan, it was the 80s at the time, that Bhagwan asked her, as usual, what do you people want from this beggar? And when he left them, that is when he said to that mother of Sudha, Shanta, you keep this beggar's portrait and you sing songs of bhakti on Meenakshi Amma. My father, Sri Rama, will bless you, give you love, and do the needful. Just see, mentioning of so many deities to point out that they're all one and the same. No matter what the form is, what the name is, the divinity is that one divinity which has become all. And of course, Gita says that mother, Sudha's mother Shanta, after she came back, there was a complete sea change, as they call it. She began to sing songs of Meenakshi before the picture of Bhagwan. And slowly, slowly she picked up strength of mind. And what was more, soon she began to compose songs on Meenakshi. And she slowly advanced spiritually also, that at times she would share her spiritual experiences with Gita. It is that which deepened Gita's faith in Bhagwan. Now, this is only to learn that no matter how many deities, pictures we have in the house, no matter how many different types of worship that we pursue, let us know that we're preaching the one divinity. The one divinity behind all that, the ultimate God. Now we should come to the other aspect of Muthukumar's experiences today. Like in his story also we saw that Yogi Ramsuratkumar devotees and Shiva devotees, they sang only Ram Nam in Ananda Ashram. Of course, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama also was chanted by Muthukumar whenever the chant presented itself. But they had darshan of Lord Shiva, and Muthukumar had darshan of Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Well, they were only chanting Ram Nam mostly. Now we would come to the experience of butterfly. There is Kalyani, a devotee from Kobe, Coimbatore. She describes her experience of Narration of Bhagwan. She said she began to come only after the Mahasamadhi in 2006, though she started her worship from 97. When she came, she travelled all the way from Coimbatore to Tiruvannamalai, a very tedious, laborious journey. She, her husband and her daughter. She was so tired after that. She prayed for two things before the Shila Murti of our Bhagwan. Bhagwan who is standing here now in front of us. The first was that she wanted to have a baby boy. The other was, she was so fed up with the bus journey, she wanted a car. Now she says, soon after that, when she went back, she conceived again. That was after 9 years. Now, when the delivery time came, when she admitted, when she wanted to see the doctor said, Amma, you have some complications here. You see, you have overweight, you have diabetes, and above all, the conceiving has taken place after 9 years now, the delivery. There may be complications. We will do a cesarean operation on you. Now that was going to take place the very next day. She, Kalyani, was living on the 3rd floor. And in the night after 10 o'clock, she was very worried, anxious, and very agitated about her operation next day. She was very frightened, naturally. And then she was praying, chanting, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please be with me tomorrow. There should be no complications. And I must have a baby boy. So as she was praying, walking up and down, praying and chanting the name, suddenly she felt a cool breeze coming through the window. So naturally she went near the window and opened it. And what did she see? Varieties of butterflies of green color, red color, violet color, purple color. It was after 10 o'clock in the night, probably 10:30 or so. And the butterflies had come up to the 3rd floor. And they were flying all around so cheerfully, carrying good tidings for her from Yogi Ramsuratkumar. She knew it was Bhagwan carrying happy news for her, and the next day was going to be smooth and comfortable, and true to her expectation, Bhagwan was with her all through, and she gave birth to a baby boy. She also says that when she was going to hold a function, when her daughter came to maturity, and she had no time to send the invitation to the ashram. So she just put the invitation, the first invitation, to Bhagwan in her puja room at the feet of Bhagwan, the picture of Bhagwan, and prayed to him. On the day of the function, it was only 3:30 a.m., early morning 3:30, when she opened the door outside. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a butterfly entered, as though it was waiting all the time for her to open the door. Bhagwan, in the form of butterfly, he went round here and there and settled down on his picture to bless the whole function. So you see, whether it is late in the night or early in the morning, any time you call out, you invite Bhagwan by invoking his grace, by chanting his name and praying, Bhagwan will surely be present, and mostly in the form of butterfly, which we can see physically. Now, doesn't that remind us of another incident way back? That was, I think, 2011 or something. Sri G. Swaminathan, one of the trustees of the ashram here at Tiruvannamalai, his granddaughter, Swastika, she was born only in 2001, and she had great admiration for butterflies. And when she learned that Bhagwan would come often in the form of butterflies, her adoration doubled. Now, her parents, they are living in Bombay. They've been living in Bombay for so many years. And they had bought a new flat in a block, and it was the 11th floor. Just imagine. It was on the 11th floor, and at that time Swastika was probably 10 years or 9 years. So her grandparents, Sri G. Swaminathan and his wife Kanti, both of them had gone to Bombay to attend a function. Now the previous day to the function, these people had gone there to check up with the woodwork and then clean the place, keep it ready for next day's function. They closed all the doors, the glass doors and the wooden door, locked it up nicely, came back home, and the next day early morning, they all went there. It was 4:30 a.m., early morning. When they opened the door, my God, out of nowhere, so many, I could say a profusion, so many of butterflies entered immediately at the early hour of the day. Where did they all come from? Nobody could even guess. They all entered of different colors, going about the house here and there, flying, that these people found it difficult to move about. Because they had prayed so much and they had faith, complete faith, that Bhagwan would be present on the occasion to bless the house, to bless all of them. And to the surprise and wonder of Swastika and her people, many of them were whirling around. And finally, slowly, as the function proceeded, the number decreased, and only one of them went up and sat there above the picture of Bhagwan. And it stayed on till the Homa was over. Such a specific movement, specific blessings from Bhagwan to let people know that it is He who had come in the form of the butterfly, that they were not to take it lightly. Of course, the real devotees would know instantly it was Bhagwan. One could easily make out, like yesterday we saw, the aimless, usual butterflies that go after flowers and honey are different, and Bhagwan in the form of butterfly is completely different. So you see, it is why I mentioned this butterfly incidents. Today, the situation in India, everywhere, how people are panicking. The panic is playing more havoc than the pandemic. And of course, so many people have been afflicted with this disease. And what is more, unexpected deaths also happen. Though of course, we get the news nowadays that it's decreased considerably, thanks to Bhagwan. So today, again we should submit our prayers at the feet of Bhagwan. we saw how Bhagwan granted every wish of Kalyani. He gave her a baby boy. He appeared before her in the form of butterfly. And after that, when she took the baby boy with her husband, she had a car. And again, in other experiences, we see how promptly Bhagwan presents himself in the form of a butterfly. The butterfly stands for freedom. You see how cheerful it is, the butterfly, and how free it is. Now, in today's situation, we want to be butterflies ourselves. We are all stuck up inside our little homes, and sometimes 5 people, 6 people in one small space. Can't imagine how day after day after day they would be thrown into each other's company with nothing else to look forward to. The online classes, we don't know, there must be new problems now at home than ever before. Now sometimes this happens when people have pet animals, pet birds. Like many people keep parrots in a cage. Many people have dogs for pets and they put them on a leash. Tie them up. Their nature is to go about freely, and against their nature, for our own reasons, we keep them as pets. Now all such people would have to go through something like this at one point or the other in life. It's all karma. So let us at least remember that the karma is getting over. And what is more, Bhagwan always puts a blessing when the bad karma plays up. No matter how bad it is, it also carries a blessing for your own transformation, for your closer kinship with God. So let's pray to Bhagwan, no matter what we had done, and we must have done many, we pray to you a million times to intervene and bestow your blessings upon the entire humanity in general, and India in particular, or countries like India which goes through this phase right now, to free them from the dreadful grip of this monstrous virus and its variants, and bring back life to normal everywhere, in every aspect of life. And Bhagwan, kindly root out the fear and all negativities from the hearts of people. Arrest the rapid spread of the disease. Enter those medicines, injections, and the gadgets needed by the patients, COVID patients, and kill the entire clan of viruses. And Bhagwan, all those people who are stranded for lack of rooms in the hospital, for lack of medicine, for lack of treatment, only your grace can reach out and provide them with what is necessary so that they get well soon and return home safely. And again, all those great brave soldiers who labor so hard day and night for the sake of the others at the very risk of their life, please provide them protection. Of course, you yourself would do it, because what they are doing is no less tapas. You yourself would reward them for their work, for their selfless work. All the same, it is our duty, it's what we feel that we appeal to you for their protection and all-round well-being. And Bhagwan, please give a boost to economy. Above all, bless us with constant remembrance of your name. Bless us also with the right attitude, the attitude of being a good instrument in your hands with gratitude to go about our lives as an offering to you. And the last, but the most important of all, is please bless us with that transformation, purification, that one day we would be able to see only your presence and grace in every happening of life. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar